How many of y'all want a new life, a wealthy life, a better life, an abundant life? I got good news and bad news. Good news is you can have it. Here's the bad news. Your new life is going to cost you your old life. But there's a law that a lot of people are not familiar with, and some of you may have never heard of. It's called the law of advancement. The law of advancement says in nature, before anything can go up, it has to go down. And so many people have a desire to go up, but their unwillingness to go down first is what has been keeping them from ever going up. Even in nature, down precedes up. See, trees grow in two directions at the same time. Guess what? If you're gonna grow in two directions at the same time. You're gonna grow down. This is called gravitropic. What does that mean? It grows towards gravity and away from light. This is the part of you becoming successful that no one sees but you. They don't see the long nights. They don't see the study and the reading and the memorization and the meditating on the principles that are going to guide you and help you guide other people into whatever their promised land is. The gravitropic nature is the stuff you're doing before you ever get paid for it. Trees have to be gravitropic before they can be what? Phototropic. What's phototropic? Grows toward the light. Well, who don't want to grow toward the light? Everybody wants to grow toward the light. Everybody wants to have everybody know who they are and everybody know how awesome they are. And we all want to be phototropic. But here's what happened. God said if you're going to be phototropic, you have to be gravitropic first. Why? Because down precedes up in nature. And it doesn't matter if it's a tree or if it's a building. You're going to build a building, you have to dig a hole in the ground first, pour a foundation, and then start building the building. An airplane, the wings of the plane are angled down. Why? Because in nature, you can't go up unless you're willing to go down. The feeling of falling, the anticipation of impact that up and coming entrepreneurs feel every day of their working life until they hit their lick, that feeling of falling, that learning curve, that downward pressure is the thing that makes most up and coming entrepreneurs quit before they ever learn how to fly. I know it's uncomfortable. I get it. I was you. I am so glad that I lasted through the learning curve and was willing to go down before I went up. Don't make the mistake of thinking that your limitations were sent to stop you. Your limitations were sent to show you that you are stronger than they are. Why? Because repetitive use of a limited ability will always produce an increased capacity. And so if I keep on doing what I don't do well long enough, eventually I can become one of the best in the world at it. So many people quit before they ever get good. And that's why they never become great. Because you have to be willing to be bad long enough to get good. And you have to be willing to be good and consistent long enough to become great at something. What percentage of eagles learn to fly? About 100. What percentage of human beings learn to fly and maximize their potential? The answer? Very few. Why? Because we're so uncomfortable with this feeling that as soon as we start falling, we grab onto the lowest hanging branch, we crawl back up into our little nest called the circle of sameness, AKA the uncomfortable comfort zone, and we decide to spend the rest of our life there because we don't like the feeling of falling. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to spend money before you start making money. Your bank account's going to go down before it starts going up. And if you're unwilling to experience the emotional roller coaster ride of the downs, you will never experience the exhilaration of the ups.